Hello, welcome to Moonlit Visions, a channel about remote viewing. And this is our first test stream to see how the audio and video and all of that good stuff looks like. Definitely a shoestring budget type of channel right now. And you can like and subscribe to help this channel out. It's completely free and means the world to me. Thank you. Today, I'm using some college rule paper to see if anything pops out at us. My previous this will be my second attempt at remote viewing with paper. Previously, I've had over a 60% success rate on targeting GPS coordinates on the planet, and that sort of inspired me to bring this channel to life. I've worked on the preparation of this for a little over a month now, and I hope something comes of this. Let's see what we can do. So, in my previous remote viewing, I can show you that we excuse the horrible handwriting, but the void drive appeared through the meditating and focusing on the Fibonacci sequence. Sorry, let me get that into frame here. Again, this is a test stream. I apologize in advance for this. Okay, so Fibonacci sequence up to 89. We started to see some things form in my mind's eye, and it eventually showed up to the void drive. Now, the problem I have with remote viewing in this style is that it's completely unverifiable. And that is where my skepticism comes in, which many others have skepticism when it comes to unverifiable targets that are basically conjured up from our imaginations. But does that mean that it's not real? Is there some sort of science that can make a connection between the paranormal that would connect to the normal that we experience in our everyday lives? That's what this channel is going to be all about. I myself, as many humans, have doubt in everything I do every day. Am I going to burn the pasta? Am I going to spill my coffee as I walk up the stairs to my desk, or those types of things? Those types of doubt can creep into your mind at any given time, and it doesn't make that situation any less real if it does or doesn't happen. It's a possibility and a probability depending on what your uh, 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 many factors, but depending on what your factor exposure is to those situations. Now, when I visualize this drive, an entity or a ship or whatever it was came to my mind's eye, and it was as if I locked onto it, and when it was targeted, it then landed somewhere, and this was all in my mind's eye, but there is a person out there that may go, "You know what? I saw something weird. It was a UFO, and I was driving my vehicle, and I saw that thing." This might be that video that you find out there, and if that gravitates or draws them to this point, this makes a difference. I don't know, you can always go and detract it, but does this remote viewing phenomenon, which has been acknowledged by CIA, many scientific organizations study this and try to figure out what are the connections between our mind and the reality that we experience every day. And again, that's what want this channel to be. I'm not with any confidence saying that any of these videos that henceforth bring the subject of remote viewing to light have anything to do with base reality as you experience it every day. But what it is some way of bringing what's inside our conscious minds, which once again, consciousness itself is not understood to any degree that we could falsify it or make it any more real than me making this video right now. So, with that being said, this was the first attempt I made on paper. These effects happened, and that's just what it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to today focus on prime numbers. It's a very universal uh, it's a very universal number system sequence that can be, found all across the universe. Same thing with the Fibonacci sequence. That's why I created it that way. So let's start writing out some primes, and I'll sort of focus and meditate on what these primes are going to say to me. I have some sort of connection to numbers. My numbers that I connect to, and I see, maybe people call them angel numbers. My angel numbers are 3s and 7s, which are both primes. 1s, 3s, and 7s to be specifically. So those are like the first few primes. 5 is in there as well, but we're going to focus on those primes right now and just see if anything comes to mind, and I will start to write what I'm seeing on the paper. In other remote viewing videos, I see people using a clear white paper, and I think that might be because it's better focused, but this is just what I have right now. I'm gonna go get some printer paper, and I promise I'll recycle, or just save them as documentation of what remote viewings I've done. So let's give this a shot here, and drop the microphone. Once again, I said this is a test stream. Sorry. Okay. So we're in frame. We'll first write 1, and this is very awkward because I have to move my hand. 3, 5, 7. 1357, isn't that a year? I'm sorry, I missed 2. 2. So it's the square root. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. One, 2, 3, 5, 7, 1, 1, 1, 3. Ooh, 1, 1, 1, 3. Getting a little bit of a vibration from 1, 1, 1, 3. Some letters are starting to form. 1, 1, 1, 3. And then 1, 7 is also our next one. This is 3, 1, 7. 3, 1, 7. I'm starting to get a little like green, lush, leafy feel. Green. Some sort of island. Maybe some white sand beach, bluish waters. Some sort of like almost like an amoeba sort of wavy, but it's like an island, but it doesn't feel like there's like, well, maybe there's like beach and water around it, but it also kind of getting like I'm getting a like above island view, but then I'm also feeling like microbial something. Let's go 1919. Come back to the 1 2 3 5. 1 2 3 5. 1 2 3 5. There's like a crunchy, like a, so it's probably more of like a sand. So again, terribly sorry. I'm not an artist. I'm not a writer. I'm not any kind of. So now there's some sort of motion that way. We've lost our focus. Try to come back now. Well, that's interesting. That's not happened before. Bring back our focus. Great. Once again, sorry so much. I appreciate everyone being here that comes and checks this out, but I'm losing focus on the image. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or what. I did this in our Discord channel, which is linked in the YouTube channel here. If you'd like to join us there and have conversations or comment on this video, please join us. There's a lot of like-minded folks there that can maybe get you started down the road of what remote viewing is, the science and the interest, the experimentation, the unknown is what I seek, and the truth that is in the unknown that's waiting to be discovered is the thrill of this. Dang, I really wish this would come back to focus. That is pretty strange. Okay, well, I'm going to continue to try to bring out this image here. What is I'm feeling like some sort of it's feeling like it's either a large island or a small amoeba. Maybe the amoeba is in the island. I don't know. There's a building, some sort of structure on this here. This is drawing out, looking this way. Oh, a tree has popped out. So if we're on this here, trees, almost like a wall. Like a fort wall. So maybe we're targeting a. It feels tropical, but it feels like a fort. We're reviewing some sort of island stronghold. I'm starting to get some like concrete. Maybe there I can like sense the iron rebar within. There's some sort. It's not ancient, but it's like there's some crumbling of the infrastructure that this structure has been there for a very long time. And the focus came back on the camera. That's great. I don't know if it'll stay. Uh, Getting some sort of like there's something underneath this here, and it's very reddish, and it's more like a rebarish feel. But it's sort of slanted and angled in with, and then if you look back, it's sort of viewing out towards an area that, hmm, it's like I'm seeing the wall, and then inside the wall, like not on the other side of the wall, but literally inside the wall. And then on the opposite side, I'm seeing like almost like a jungle view, but this is a fortification. Huh. Island fortification, interior structural support, but it's crumbling. And it's crumbling on its corners, which is sort of indicative of older concrete that's been reinforced with rebar. This wall looking out towards the jungle. I don't know. I mean, it just looks like big, leafy, like banana leaf. I don't know. I've never like a leaf, like big leaves, like, and something. There's really nothing out there. I don't hear any birds. I don't hear any. No. I'm just seeing a wall. So it's weird because there's like a wall of man-made structure, and then if you flip around, you see basically a wall of nature, and they kind of are like at a difference of each other. There's space in between. It's almost like maybe the island is pointed at the wall of nature, sort of overwatching the shore. Yeah, I'm seeing a place where people can watch the coast. So I can see like a beach, someone walking along it, from left to right. But this fortification here, it's so weird because it's like I'm getting dual concrete wall, jungle wall, and it feels the same. It feels like this could be the trees and this could be the concrete wall that's from here. And from this island is looking at this coast, which is the tree line there. And they're looking back that way, and then there's a person walking from that way to that way, and then vice versa from this way to this way. All right, I'm going to focus in on this person. They're darker skinned, viewing, you know, modern clothes, like they're wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and they're just casually strolling along the beach. Well, no, not so casual, but just sort of walking like I have a destination and a purpose to walk from this side to this side. I have They're looking at something to this part here, or they're just trying to traverse from here to here. But what are they going to see when they get to that spot? It's just Um, I'm seeing some sort of structure on that they're walking towards. It's kind of like a, it's kind of got like a juice juicer sort of look to it. It's like a circle, but it's large, like fountain size, like a fountain, some sort of area where it's a large concrete like jetty, like to keep the waves from crashing and bringing the land back or the earth back into the water. And there's just one of them that I'm seeing right now. They're walking towards it. I don't know if they're going to do anything when they get to that spot. Yeah, they're just casually walking towards it. I'm getting some intent of there is a spot here where they want to be. I have some sort of. All right, I don't know what this is, but it's an image where there's a crossbar, and then is that like a power line, transmission line? It feels kind of like raising. So it's like raising their arm, but there's some sort of swirl around transmission line. Um, I'm feeling that that's sort of carrying me away from this area here. So maybe it's some sort of power line that's leaving. This almost feels like this structure, this image that I'm getting in my mind is connected to this sort of like juicer shaped concrete structure, like a buoy, like a lighthouse or some sort of signal indicating for boats and craft out in the water to not hit the island. And they're walking towards it, and they're dressed in casual clothes, like shorts, light colored shorts, and sort of like a darker top. There, there's something here, like an X marks the spot kind of thing, like there's something there that they're going to, but they're not trying to sneak. They're not trying to be hidden. They're just walking towards it, and then there's something here to take to there, like it's power. Like when I'm hanging out here and I see this, it feels like I'm drawn across like these lines, which could mean transmission lines. Maybe there's there's energy. There's like high, like I'm hearing like a buzzing, like the electrical buzzing of some sort of device that would be connected to a power system. Just kind of watching them walk, and they're pretty good distance away from it, I guess, because I'm just watching them walk towards it. They're getting a little bit closer now. They're okay. Now I'm getting another image here of sort of like a cask, almost like a cask where you can open it. It's like a concrete cask of something. Maybe this is like they're very casually dressed, walking towards this X marks the spot type destination where there's energy leaving it to a tower, and I can't see beyond this area here. But yeah, that okay. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing more of this image here beyond it, so it's definitely like a connection of towers going off in the distance. So this island must be decent size to have transmission towers on it. Power transmission, I should say. I haven't felt any communication devices, towers, but I presume I don't want to front load, but I'm presuming that there's something that's connecting all of this. So maybe this is. I'm not seeing anything before, like in the water area. This feels like this is like don't hit this. This could cause damage if it were broken, and maybe that's this connection of the concrete crumbling. And this person's coming over to inspect that. They're in light colored shorts and a dark top, and they're going to a specific spot in front of it. So maybe it's an area where they're going to open a panel to it feels like I've done this 100 times. I'm going to go to this spot that I've been 100 times to check the thing. Yeah, yeah. I can see it's kind of like a box, but it's weird because it's like it's literally at this angle. I don't know if that's a sign or, but it feels like there's some sort of like circles or some sort of thing in it, like almost like buttons, but it might be 2D surface. 2D throw now. Whoa. Now there's a bright, dark, dark triangle, bright, fiery out, bright, fiery out, out, like electrical over here. This, so is that a connection? I want to focus on that bright, fiery out because it's like sometimes when I'm viewing, I see things in like a negative. So like the out fiery part might actually be dark, and then the inner dark part might actually be light. I've had that happen before, where I've sort of like negative exposure. Okay, let's go back to primes. But I don't understand. This spot here led to this spot here, which then created a dark triangle with a fiery output transmission line. It's not a malicious intent. It's purposeful intent, but it's not malicious. It's not I'm going to do something bad, or I'm not getting that energy. I'm getting just this is what I do every day. It's kind of like a job. Like this is my job to do that. I hope something's not going wrong. I don't seem some sort of like, oh yeah, this I don't know. It's like a pot with flame or grass coming off of it. It's very tenderly and wispy. Hmm. Huh. Wispy and tenderly. And there's some sort of design. Can't tell if it's like a mask or a pot or a tendril. Um, I just feel like it's just, I'm watching somebody do their job on like an island resort or something. I don't feel like I'm seeing anything, you know, uh, remarkable or fantastic or, you know, I feel like I'm just watching someone do their job. I don't know if it's them preparing for, it feels like very tropical island, but there's like some sort of fort off in the distance, and I can't tell if I'm on the mainland shore or the island shore, but there is some sort of two walls, wall of concrete and wall of forest or jungle or nature wall. So let's try to look at a, so instead of looking down, let's look at it this way, like a cross section. So you have this, and there might be miles of water in distance between. And all of these images are just sort of coming in from left and right. This image came in from the left, and that fiery triangle came in from the right. Now this image here, I'm still seeing like concrete walls on like an island, and then over here is like a forest jungle with a beach. And yeah, I believe the person that is walking along the beach down this way is on the mainland. So I am very intrigued by this because this showed up first, but then this is where it led me to, and I can't. Maybe this is where the transmission lines are going back that way. Hmm. It just seems like somebody is doing their job. They're just like reading the meter essentially. I'm I'm not really seeing what they're doing. I have no, they're at the spot now. They're now knelt down at the X marks the spot area in front of this concrete, like uh it's it's stone. Is it stone or concrete? I can't tell. This is more well kept. Oh, you know, it has like some ceramic quality, but it's a very strange thing. It's like one piece. It's like one. It's like a orange, like a juicer, like an orange juicer, but it's as big as, you know, a shed. It's it's like orange, like a sombrero shape, but then there's connection to these towers here. Those like shaped like that. So I mean, it's a very classic transmission line, like power lines going up, but it points here. The person is standing here, and they're knelt down at like a control box or some sort of panel, just doing something. Yeah, they're sort of like reaching in to this area here. Um, But what was this? I don't know if this was like that was just a random image that came in. I kind of want to go back over here to this island part with the concrete that's sort of like rusting away or crumbling away with rebar forming out of it. Uh, but I'm more over here. And it just sort of goes off in the distance. And it's a daylight setting, sort of like afternoon. The beach is beautiful. The water, I'm starting to hear it wash onto the shore, but it's like an electrical or energy or some sort of spot where the beach and nature meet man-made stuff. And this person is over here with it. Uh I kind of want to go back to the primes and see if I can get something else or if the target I don't again, I don't know if this is what remote viewing has happened. Like, can you focus on something and then have it completely be benign and then you you just you restart and then it takes you somewhere else? Or what if comment below and tell me, okay, you're completely full of it, or yes, what you saw was this, or if somebody knows of this sort of mechanism of where energy is this a termination point, like a grounding where the transmission line goes to a point where it grounds before it reaches another thing going out. That's interesting. I don't feel like there's any sort of you know pronounced or profound thing that's happening here. It honestly just feels like someone doing their job. What I view targeted in on, it didn't really seem doesn't seem like there's anything spectacular going on here. This shape was pretty interesting because I couldn't tell if it was like grass, like if you ever see the ceremonial masks that have like grass around them or palms around them, that sort of showed up, but I don't feel like it's connected to this activity that was happening here. It's just like that's a part of the area. So maybe this was a connection to the region that I'm viewing, because it does feel very tropical, very jungle, um, very oceanside, and I, I don't know, but I couldn't tell if it was like flame coming up off of a torch or something along that line, or if it was like some sort of ceremonial mask with the tendrils coming off there. It's interesting. Okay, let's just start over and get the primes back out. Maybe I need to. All right. Yeah, I guess one isn't a prime, but I sort of start with one as like uh, a base. Nothing, zero is nothing and one is something. And when you have zero conjure up something, it would start with one. So let's actually do a prime. So it'd be two. Okay, we have our primes up to 29. 2, 3, 5, 7, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 7, 1, 3, 1, 7. I mean, I'm drawn to that immediately, but I'm also getting the 1, 9, 2, 3, 2, 9, 1, 9, 2, 3, 2, 9. So these bracketed and these bracketed. Let's explore. Oh, and this bracketed too. 7, 1, 1. Getting these three groups here. 7, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 7. This one is the one that's sort of popping out at me right now. That was 9, 2, 3, 2, 9. 9, 2, 3, 2, 9. That's giving me more of it's. I'm still kind of like at like a oceanside. 9, 2, 3, 2, 9. This is like a bigger cliff though. So I'm seeing a tall cliffside with buildings on the cliff, like a cityscape in the background. Very very much buildings, definitely buildings back there. And I'm looking, and this is sort of like off water, and but very high cliffs, very tall cliffs with a city on the side. 9, 3, 9, 2, 3, 2, 9, 9, 2, 3, 2, 9. So yeah, it's very much a city, like hazy background. I'm kind of getting like port, like a ah, like I can see a shipping container ship sort of like coming around here. So it's like off, and that's a horizon. So this is your lower level foreground water, and then your background water has kind of like very large ship with containers on it. Very much human technology today. This container ship coming around the bend here. Yeah, just normal, everyday kind of things. I just saw there's some seagulls, just doing their thing, doing bird things. The back the back sky is like a grayish. Wait, I'm getting sort of like a. Oh no! Well, is that what flaming ball is that? Is this just a flame ball coming in? Oh no! I'm just, I don't think we're getting hit with a meteor. Um, I do see a. The way I drew it is kind of the way I'm seeing it in my mind is sort of like a sketch almost of some sort of circular sphere type thing with like either flame coming off. It looks like a logo. It kind of looks like the Miami Heat basketball logo. I'm not sure if Miami has tall cliffs like that anywhere off the water, but I am kind of seeing that as like the logo. Maybe I'm viewing Miami. Um, Shipping containers, that seems logical. I haven't really looked at Miami in comparison to what it looks like on the the beach with the city. I'm pretty sure Miami has the city like down with the water. It's not high up on a cliff like that. This cliff side almost felt more like the UK, like the tall cliffs of Scotland or the somewhere in the UK. but there's a shipping container that's connected to this, but this feels different from here, but it still feels like connected to water, like it's going to crash down. But I'm not getting like, oh no, meteors are gonna come get us now. I don't feel that. I just am seeing like some sort of logo or rush of a like image, like it's drawn. So when I see, I just feel like Miami Heat basketball team here. But it is up here and it's facing down. So 92329. That is the. All right, well, let's get some like 1317. That's kind of giving me more of like a spacey vibe. So maybe I am sort of grabbing and going reverse, like more of like an outer space up high. 1317 is like up very high. I'm seeing black dark sky, stars out there. What's the 711? Ooh, that was weird. That was like light pillars. Wait, yeah, pillars, sort of going in and down a hallway of light on the pillars, and there's some sort of pattern in the pillars. (711) walking into a place where there's lit up pillars. Very large structure that I'm in. 711. 1317 up in space. Really nothing up there, just blackness and space. 711 in a structure with pillars, like not characters, but like some sort of textural pattern on them, and then the light is coming from behind the pattern. And then this 92329, which had this coming out. The 711 is kind of interesting. It's like a structure you can walk through and be in. Oh, and it goes under like pier, like a pier coming out. I can see under the pier. Huh. I don't know where I'm viewing. I don't know what I'm seeing. These are the things that are coming to my mind when I think of these numbers and I think of these primes. Far cry from the void drive from the Fibonacci sequence. So this could be a dud. This is the test video anyways, so dud it be. Nothing profound, nothing to speak of. But this was the first test stream of Moonlit Visions with remote viewing. Tune in next time as I do live streams from my Discord channel. In the link below, I am Moon, and I appreciate you watching this video. And if you got anything out of it, please like and subscribe. Comment below. I'll be back next time. Thanks so much. Bye.